So we're gonna get a little serious in this video. I found out long ago, back in my teenage years, that there are some things on the internet that will just piss you off. And you need to not take everything you see on the internet seriously, because there are trolls out there, and there are just assholes out there that are never gonna learn anything, and getting mad about it won't do anything. That being said, I saw something the other day that really made me mad, and just the amount of disrespectful it was. It's something that I can't ignore, and I really want to address, even if 12 people see this video, which is very typical in my viewer count, but it's something I want to get out there. So a little while ago, I discovered that Lindsay Ellis, aka the Nostalgia Chick, made a video called The A Word, and it was about her experience going through abortion. I wanted to watch it because I really enjoy Lindsay's stuff, and on top of that, I just heard it was a good film. And it was. It did not talk to the audience from one side of the debate. It was not pro-life, it was not pro-choice, it wasn't trying to force anything on the audience. But it did talk about people who have had abortions like they're people. And it talked about the emotional impact, and, we don't really talk about abortion in this society, and if it is, it's either these very cold, it's your body, you should choose, or this, if you are pro-choice, you're a murderer. No one's talked about the emotions and the impact it has on the women, or even, the spouses or boyfriends or whatever of people who have had abortions. And this video did, and it was very well done, and I do really recommend it. But while I was looking for it on the internet, I found another video, and it was entitled Doug Walker's Reaction to the A Word. And I was a little confused because I was like, I couldn't see the Nostalgia Critic reviewing this because I couldn't see him poking jokes at this, especially since it's his friend, it's his colleague. But that being said, if he does, review it, I'm interested. So I clicked on the link, and I found it was not the Nostalgia Critic reviewing the A Word. Someone had edited it so it sounded like he was just hating on this movie. And the editing isn't very good. You can tell that it's edited. But for a little while, I was just mind blank. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Doug is saying this about his friend. And then I realized, no, this sounds familiar, and then I realized where it was from, and someone had taken the, his review of Twilight Breaking Dawn, and just edited it so it sounded like he was hating on Lindsay. And I've seen, videos edited before. I mean, he does it himself to edit things so it sounds like people are, saying something they're not. It's something done all the time on YouTube, on everywhere. But this one bothered me because to me, this one just seemed even more disrespectful because it was not done as a joke. It was not done, it was obviously done out of malice, and if it was done for a joke, as a joke, it was in real poor taste. But it just makes him, for one, it makes Lindsay look like her video is very, for people who have not seen her video, it makes it look like it's just a normal, preaching to the choir, very poorly done, and it's not. And the other side, it just makes Doug look like a total bigot. And I kind of feel like it was definitely someone pro-life who did this, saying, okay, people won't listen to me, so I'll get this internet celebrity who has a huge following and just edit him so it looks like he's saying what I want him to say. And that is just so not okay. And I wanted to bring attention to stuff like this because it is very hurtful. And I will leave a link to the video. Normally I don't like to shame people who make videos, but I do. This person who did this should feel ashamed because it's almost slander in a way. It's saying that it's making Doug look very, very ignorant, and it's making Lindsay look like just, and neither of them deserve that. I have huge respect for both the chick and the critic. And also some of the comments were very, very hurtful. It's like, oh, I had no idea that the end chick was a slut. And just because you get pregnant and you don't want to be does not make you a slut. And just because you have an abortion, it doesn't make you a murderer. And yeah, for getting back at the fact that it makes the critic look like a bigot, people will be like, well, you know, he's still talking about the same thing. It's that abortion, you know, don't make movies trying to force abortion. But no, it doesn't, because Susan Collins, no, not Susan Collins, sorry, Stephenie Meyer did not know what she was talking about when she was writing Twilight, and you can tell that in the movies. It comes across, and it does look it is very stupid in that movie, and it is just forcing pro-life on you. But Lindsay's movie does not do that, so it's a huge framing difference. And I'm starting to ramble now, but I just don't do stuff like this. This is the ultimate offensive thing I can think of, and that's putting words into someone else's mouth and making it look like they don't respect a colleague. Like, that to me just adds insult to injury, because it's not just another movie that he's reviewing. It's not even just another good movie that he's reviewing. It's making it look like he's just hating on someone that I assume is a very good friend of his, or at the very least a colleague. And it's just not okay. Like, out of all the things I've seen on the internet, all the terrible, hateful things I've seen on the internet, this has stuck out to me as one of the most offensive. And I don't know if it was meant that way, but it did. So, that's my 2 cents on it. And I mean, watch The A Word if you want, because it is very, very good, but just don't ever do stuff like this. It's just not okay.